Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another edition of Stout Sunday. And joining me this morning, we have Robert the Whiskey Scout from the great state of Kansas.
Hello.
Good morning, Robert. We have Michael Kormaroff from Brooklyn, New York. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, everybody.
And we have Ron Alterio of Louisiana Beer Reviews. Good morning, Ron.
Hey, good morning, and thanks for inviting me to this.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and get this party started. We've already got Jeremy in the chat. Cheers to you, Jeremy. Thanks for tuning in. He does not have a stout this morning. Otherwise, he would have joined. He said he's going to enjoy watching the show. So let's go ahead and get started with Robert the Whiskey Scout and see what he's bringing to the table this morning.
All right. What I got is it's called Ceased and Desisted Final Batch Yellow Belly. It's an 11% Imperial. I don't know how well this is going to wash out in this. Let me see. Let me turn this off. Maybe it won't wash the white so bad.
Yeah, you can see it all right.
It's really blurry there. So anyway, it's an Imperial Stout brewed with peanut and biscuit flavors. 11% alcohol by volume. It is imported by 12% LLC Mount Vernon, Kentucky. It contains barley, wheat, oats, hops, yeast, water, and aromas of peanut and biscuit. Best before 015-2024, brewed by Omnipolo and Buxton Brewery at Buxton Brewery Company, Ltd., Buxton, United Kingdom, product of the United Kingdom, but it is a collaboration, and part of whatever the collaboration is with some company in Sweden, which I'm not going to go into detail because I don't really know. I just read it myself a minute ago. Anyway, that's what it is. It's got a lot more write-up about yellow bellies and what they are and social justice and whatever, but I don't care about any of that. So anyway, that's what I have.
All right. Sounds very interesting. Michael Kormaroff, what about you? What you got this morning?
This is the original left-hand milk stout at 6% alcohol from Longmont, Colorado. And I think John reviewed this on the same Stout Sunday, maybe about 3 weeks ago. And we've had it before. It's not new. Give it a shot today and see what we think.
All right. Ron Alterio, what whiskey barrel stout do you have this morning?
Well, I went on a trip last month to Georgia, and somebody gave me this bottle, and I told the guy, I said, "You're giving me too much stuff. It's really embarrassing." But he said, no. And so he gave me this. It's 11.3% alcohol. I can't get this in Louisiana. It's from Boulevard Brewing Company. 11.3, 32 IBUs. It's barrel aged. It doesn't say bourbon barrels, barrel aged. So I'm suspecting it might be McCormick blended whiskey barrels, but it's got a strong whiskey flavor. And like Nathan the prophet said in the Bible, the man is you. You're the man, John and L.A. You're the man.
All right. Well, take a look at that label. It's actually 11.8. So not 11.3.
Oh, I'm sorry, 11.8.
And I actually have the same beer this morning. So there you go. Boulevard Whiskey Barrel Stout. All right. So let's check the comments really quick. Jeremy Anonymous is in the chat as well. Cheers to everybody watching. Hope y'all had a great 4th of July and enjoying the rest of your 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll start back with the Whiskey Scout. I see he's contemplating the aroma there. So you have the floor, Whiskey.
Very different. We do have the roasted malts. Those are really. It's not a strong roasty flavor in it, but they're there. You get a peanut brittle. The peanuts come across in the peanut brittle, but there is an odd component to this nose that this one I cannot put my finger on it.
Yeah,
it's almost like a cheese.
Odd can be good and odd can be bad, you know.
Yeah, but it's almost faintly like cheese. I mean, it's strange.
Cheese. Whoa.
Yeah, it's almost, I would say like a white cheddar almost. That's as close as I can come to describing the odd nose on it. It says biscuits. I don't know what, I mean, what we think of biscuits in America is not what the British have for biscuits. You know, biscuits are like almost hard crackers to them in a lot of ways. And they have a variety. So, I mean, you know, that biscuits can mean a whole heck of a lot, but they have those digestive biscuits. They have all kinds of. I bought a roll of those one time because Ralphie in his whiskey reviews always referred to digestive biscuits. So
Yeah.
I was in World Market, bought me a roll of digestive biscuits, and they're just a bland
Cookie.
roll. Yeah, exactly. It's cookie shaped cracker thing. This doesn't really come across like we're getting a little sweeter now. This has warmed up. I took it out of the freezer probably we're at 9:47, probably around 9:10. So it's had plenty of time. It's not freezing cold anymore, but
Shane should join us.
but anyway, that's all I can say about the nose. It's
Oh man.
right now it's just oddball cheese and some roasted malts and peanut brittle. The peanuts that says it has that, it does come through on the nose.
Good golly.
Maybe
no.
it's and slightly citrusy. There's almost an orange, citrus orange too. Just really, it kind of comes across here.
That's bizarre.
All
Bizarre.
Yes, it is a bizarre smell. I'm not. If I handed it to you, Ron, you'd be going, "Whoa!" I guarantee you.
Whoa.
Cheers, Robert.
Cheers to
Cheers.
your fascination.
Oh, palate completely different than the nose. Completely different. The orange, roasted, the orange note, it really has an orange. It doesn't even mention anything like that. That is weird. Orange, hardly any of the peanut comes across at all. Almost like an orange sickle in a way. Oh, now we have a little dark chocolate. Just now. That's out of the roasted malts. That's coming across. It's not a distinctive dark chocolate like they mix it in there, but you know, sometimes that dark chocolate, the flavor that comes along with the roasted malts, I'm getting a little of that. It changes from, there's going to be another good one because I enjoy the changes. Hate the nose, like the taste. There's a bready component to it too. White bread. It's not a dark bread, it's a white bread. There's a light white.
Robert, can you taste the alcohol? Can you taste the 11%?
No alcohol at all. Between the roasted malts, orange, the white yeast bread, that little bit of chocolate that comes in, and that chocolate doesn't make its appearance till the finish, as it's going, as it's resettling, as your palate's settling. No, it's a good one. I'm surprised. Did not have but just a skim head on it. The little skim chocolate head, about what you see there is all it really had. Lacing is staying fairly consistent on it. It's not dropping off. Poured dark as motor oil. It's a good one. I'm enjoying this. Really am.
All right.
Strange.
Jeremy says you better pour some whiskey in that, Robert, since you don't taste any alcohol.
Nah. I hate to see how the ribs turn out later today.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will come back around to you shortly, and you can think on that a little bit. In the meantime, we got to go to Michael Kormaroff with his left-hand milk stout.
So here it is. Here's what the bottle looks like. Again, cow on the front label. Milk stout at 6% from Longmont, Colorado. And this is what it looks like in the glass. I know the lighting is not great, but you're getting a very slim beige head, but it is standing up pretty well, and you're getting good lacing all along the side. And it's dark brown. It's not black. You can see bits of red through a little U on the side too, but very dark brown. Let me give it a nose. The nose is really strong roasted malts, and also getting some coffee, which is a very strong smell as well. Other than that, not really getting much, but those are the two main components of the nose. Let me give it a taste.
All right. Cheers, Michael.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Okay, so you're getting the coffee now becomes the lead taste. You're still getting the roasted malts. It's very creamy and very easy drinking at 6%. Maybe you're getting a little bit of dark chocolate in the background, but it's not a primary taste. It's more of a secondary taste. But the coffee is the lead taste, and the dark roasted malts. And I wouldn't say this is a complex stout, but again, I don't think milk stouts generally are that complex anyway. It's more of a straightforward, creamy milk stout, and pretty well done, I think. I'll come back and give you a number.
All right. Yeah. Just finally tried that beer for the first time a few weeks ago, and I brought it to Stout Sunday, but I'd had the nitro many times over the years, but never, just for whatever reason, never got around to the milk stout, and I was very pleased with it. So very good, very well made stout in my opinion. All right, so Ronald Terrio with the Boulevard Whiskey Barrel Stout. Let's see what you think.
Well, I think that I'm very pleased with it. Okay, so I poured it, and I got a little thin head, but it died away. When you get above 11%, it starts to head goes away, and the lacing goes bye-bye. There's not much lacing. So it's dark brown. If I let the light shine through it, I can pick up the brown on the bottom part, getting towards the stem. Hey, John and Neely, thank you for this bottle.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
And thank you for the second bottle. See, he goes overboard. He gives me not one bottle, two.
I figured David might enjoy reviewing that one with you.
He might, but he'll probably say, it's too hot to do stouts. It's too hot. And in which case I'll say, don't worry about that. I'll take care of it on my own.
Take care of it for you.
No problem whatsoever. I don't turn down beer. Although we know the policy, right? Okay.
Right.
Talking about the mail. Anyway, I mean, United States mail, not men. All right. I'm saying cheers. I didn't even say cheers. I'm sipping on it like a fool.
Cheers, Jay.
Cheers.
Oh, it smells like whiskey, y'all. And it smells.
The name.
What? I mean,
the name. It's with the whiskey barrels. The name does give it away.
It smells like whiskey barrels, and then you get the dark roasted malt. Now in the flavor, you get the whiskey barrel, which I think might be McCormick, but they're going to be like, that company. I didn't see anywhere on their website where they gave an indication of whose barrels they were. So I think they're going to be like Angelina Jolie. It's like, I'll never tell.
Well, not to interrupt too much, but there is a Dark Horse distillery. It's not very far from where they're located in Kansas City, and they've been doing it a while. They could be getting their barrels from them too. All right, Sleepy, go back to talking.
Okay, you might be right. Although it could be McCormick, or it could be anybody. Dark Horse.
It's Union, man.
It's you get some sweetness, you get some coffee, sweet creamy coffee. Now I like sweet creamy coffee. You get dark chocolate, you get whiskey. Somebody's echoing like Yosemite Sam.
Me.
The body is not as heavy as you may believe. It's high medium, but it isn't heavy body. There's a little viscous quality from the oats. You could call it slimy, but we wouldn't use those type of words on the internet. The finish is medium dry. Man, I gave this beer. You know what? Oh yeah, I can't say. It's not scoring time. I was about to mention what I scored it on the written reviews, but I caught myself. Well, it's a dynamite product, and if somebody could drink it, I was reading a written review where a guy was talking about how no good it was, like saying, "I drank it if somebody gave it to me, but I wouldn't buy it. I tasted no whiskey and I smelled no whiskey." And I'm thinking, what was he drinking? You know. But anyway, I'm very pleasantly.
If you don't, I've had that multiple times. If he ain't getting
with a lot of.
Right. If you don't taste the whiskey barrel on the whiskey barrel stout from Boulevard, then you've got some taste bud deficiencies.
Yeah, you do.
You need counseling. All right, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, we'll come back around for your rating, but it sounds like we know it's going to be very high based on that description of it. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about mine a little bit. And I am drinking this thing, the Whiskey Barrel Stout from Boulevard. I'll put it up on the screen one more time for anybody who may be just now joining. So there's your appearance. Yeah, very, very dark brown. It did actually, I poured it straight down the glass. It did pour with a 3-finger head, but it dissipated very, very quickly. A nice little thin film of a head, though, is left behind, which is nice, especially considering that this is 11.8%. So the aroma, like Ron said, yeah, super barrel forward. Definitely getting those whiskey barrel notes right up front. I'm getting some dark chocolate, some caramel, a light vanilla note. It just smells very malt forward. I'm not getting any indication that there's going to be any bitterness with this beer. The 32 IBUs are not coming through at all. I'm not picking up any character like that. It smells really, really good. I'm not really picking up. I mean, I am picking up the whiskey barrel, but it doesn't really smell like a super boozy beer. But you're definitely picking up that whiskey barrel. All right. So cheers, guys.
Cheers, John.
Oh, man. Really roasty right up front. It's picking up a little bit of that on the nose, but as soon as you take that first sip, the roasted malt character really comes through. Dark, toasted bread notes. Then you get a little bit of that whiskey barrel. Some dark chocolate. Almost a little bit of coffee from the roasted malts just because of how deep the malt character is, which provides a little bitterness as well. On the back end, when you swallow it down, it is warming going down, so you know that you're drinking a high alcohol beer. And I don't see how you could drink this and think, oh, this is a session stout. I mean, there's just no way, because it's got such a great whiskey character to it all the way through, from the aroma all the way to the finish and that warming effect going down. You know this is a beast of a beer. The 32 IBUs, I mean, it's not a bitter beer by any means. Like I said, the only bitterness that I'm getting is from that roasted malt, that dark roasted malt character, when those coffee notes are kind of coming through. The vanilla's coming through on the palate as well. It does have that nice vanilla sweetness, the mouthfeel. It's not super heavy. I mean, it's not, when I poured it, it's not a super viscous, thick beer, but it is more on the heavy side just because of all of the whiskey notes. You can't really, it's a sipper. You can't drink this one too fast. But it's super enjoyable if you like barrel-aged stouts. This one This one's one of my favorites just because it's a pure barrel-aged stout. There's no added ingredients. It's the base stout aged in the whiskey barrels, nothing else. No added chocolate, no coffee, no nothing. It's a barrel-aged stout lover's dream in the sense that it's just exactly that. There's no frills with it. There's no added ingredients. It is what it is, and it's an awesome beer. So I'll come back around and give a rating in a little while, but I'm glad I picked up another 4-pack. I'm glad Ron got to try it as well because he can't get Boulevard down there, unfortunately. But this is definitely one of my favorites, and I'm glad that I'm revisiting it here today with you guys. So, all right, let's catch up really quick on the chat. We got the beer guy in the chat. Cheers to you. And Ron, yeah, I need to go to beer counseling every day. I go to beer counseling every day of my life. All right. Yeah, thanks to everybody for tuning in. We got a great chat going. Okay, so now we got to go back around, and Robert's had some time to think about that yellow-bellied stout he's got. So what's the verdict?
Well, as it warms up even more, I get more bitterness. And an addendum, Ronald. It used to be Dark Horse Distilling, but they got a trademark infringement with some wine company. Now that I think about it, I think the company goes by Union Horse Distilling now. But there's also another distillery up there. It's not a distillery. They do the old, I can't think of the name of them, but they're pretty big now. But they do whiskey. Oh, they barrel it, mingle it, commingle it. I get back with you. I'm going to have to explore it after I get done talking about this. And we'll address it after I'm done. Let me finish what I'm doing. More bitterness shows up, but it is the sweet component balances with the bitterness in this. It's really a very easy drinking beer. It transitions across the palate. Does not have a lot of transitional flavors, though. The transitional flavors all stay the same. I'm going to give it a 96. I really enjoy this. The only caveat is I asked my wife how much she paid for this one, and it was $11, and I think that is a bit pricey. If it was somewhere down around $6 or so, I think that's more in the price range that makes this. If it was a $6 stout, it would probably be even a higher score, but $11 does kind of hold it back. I'm sorry, and I know price shouldn't matter, but it does, as Ron says. In this case, it really does. Anyway, 96.
All right. So 1A in the books. Michael, what are you thinking about the left-hand milk stout?
Okay, I'm going to have to make mine another A. I'm giving it a 95, a little bit, 1 point lower than Robert's, but very consistent milk stout, creamy, and I think I like it better than the left-hand nitro too. I've had that also, and that to me was more of a B+ or an A-. That really wasn't anything astounding. It was just the normal,
Okay, so we agree that the milk stout is superior to the nitro.
Right, and I've had other nitros of other beers that were exceptional. That one wasn't exceptional. This one's really, as it warms, it stays consistently. The roasted malts are still prominent as well as the coffee. And I'm enjoying it, and I would definitely buy it again. And it's moderately priced, and it's easy to find. Left Hand has pretty good distribution throughout the country, so I think you can get this. The label is different than the ones I've had before. I don't think there was a cow on the original label that I had, but
no, I thought
I don't think so. But I could be wrong about that too. The label has changed though, for sure.
Okay. All right, so 96 and 95. I have a feeling that Ron's score is going to be a little bit higher than both of those, but let's find out. Ron, what are you thinking about the Boulevard Whiskey Barrel Stout?
Sometimes people's feelings can be correct.
Well, we did a review of it on my channel as well, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I know.
It was funny because people were saying, I noticed that y'all did all of these in a row, and I could see it starting to have an effect. Like, I was like, oh well, maybe. I went and got a little salad just now because I felt like I could start to feel the alcohol a little bit with this 11.8, and I wanted to eat something. Although the effects probably didn't show in any way in my presentation, I'm pretty sure that people couldn't tell I was drinking alcohol at all. But right. Anyway, don't judge me because I'm going to give it a 97.
97. Okay.
An A, most excellent. I love it. If I was looking to drink an Imperial Stout, and I would be looking to do that every day of my life, this would be one of the picks. Got to get Thrash on here to do his stout, so give yourself some wiggle room. We got to get Nina on here. We got to get Thrash on here. We got to get the whole gang. Got to interrupt that. Got to interrupt that camping trip. Get them on here.
Drunken One has to come on Stout Sunday.
I wonder if Thrash ever brews a stout. I've never heard him talk about it. He may. I mean, I don't know everything he's done, but
I know he has before. We talked about it before. I don't think he has recently though, because he's been brewing a lot of like IPAs and pale ales and stuff like that lately. I guess just with the
what would be nice is if Thrash brewed a nice high ABV stout and sent us all one, and then
that would be ideal. Yeah,
I've never tasted any of his beers. I'd love to taste one.
But no pressure, Thrash. You don't have to do it, but if you did,
no pressure, but you should do it.
Yeah, you should.
We were talking the other day about him possibly brewing a coconut porter or stout, and I told him, I said, you definitely need to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. If he does that, I will send him money to help ease the cost of ingredients.
Yeah, we will fund the whatever ingredients, whatever you need for that brew. Robert and I will personally fund it for you.
We will.
We call this passive aggression. This is what we call this. Thrashman, a homebrew and barbecue. I'm not bullying you. I am not bullying you. Not to say I wouldn't drink the thing if it was sent to me, but I'm just saying I'm not bullying you. Give you my address later off the air. We'll talk about that.
Right. Okay, so I guess I'm the only one that hasn't given a rating for my beer here, so I'm giving it one higher than Ron did, 98 out of 100 for me for the Boulevard Stout. Wow. I think it's just an incredible beer. I love the fact that it's a purist type beer. Like there's nothing added to it. You're getting everything from the barrel aging and the stout, the malt character from the base stout. It's just a really good, an excellent beer that I think everybody that loves barrel-aged stout should have the opportunity to try at least once. It's just an excellent product. So there you go.
Wow, got some good scores today, boy, oh boy.
We did. Yeah, I'll post them here on the bottom so everybody can check it out. So all A's, 96, 95, 97, and 98. Great lineup for this 4th of July weekend. So with that being said, we're doing great on time here. We got through everything pretty quickly. Does anybody have any announcements, anything coming up on your channel that you want to shout out before we take this party off air?
Yes.
I probably won't be on tomorrow. Bumpy has American lagers on.
So you just can't stomach an American lager, can you, Michael? I can
get one, but the beach club is now open, so I don't think I will be back.
Priorities come in now.
Oh.
Now
that we put our family ahead of everything else.
So now I have different things going on, which is going to change things. Now, the Sunday morning is not affected because we don't go that early, but we do stay later. And if the beach club is open until 9 o'clock, we sometimes stay that late. So we'll see. I don't know if how tomorrow will be, how it'll be weather-wise, but I think the forecast is good.
Yeah,
But everybody who comes on Bumpy Show, I'll definitely watch the replay. I can definitely get an American lager. That's no problem in getting one. But.
Right. Yeah. The problem. Yeah. It's you could get a lager anywhere.
In a way,
it's about
sort of like a perfect storm.
400 yards that way to the store.
It's at
Convenient.
It's a perfect storm. Perfect storm. It's a perfect storm. A, the beach club is reopening. B, he has a 0% desire to drink American lager. And C, there's your out. Now I love that kind of synchronicity.
Right.
I will be on Wednesday unless we stay late that day. That's another possibility, but I'll try to be back in time to do our regular thing at 7:20 to 7:30 on Wednesday.
Okay. To specify again for you guys as whiskey barrels, J. Regier and Company, it's an old term they used to use called rectifier, which means they buy a bunch of barrels from different distilleries. They bring them in, they commingle them, look for a house style. And back in prior to the 30s, before Prohibition, rectifiers were very popular. They kind of filled that spot in between the Bottled and Bond Act in the 1890s until Prohibition, because they would actually sell whiskey. Now, some rectifiers mixed a lot of things like tobacco juice and blah, blah, blah in it. But the ones that were a name brand, you could mail order back then. They would order, if you lived on a farm in western Kansas and you wanted whiskey, it mail ordered a case of whiskey from J. Regier and Company in Kansas City, and it was rectified whiskey. But they had a better name brand for themselves. Where did
Jay had drifted into oblivion.
Okay. Well, this was for his effect.
He'll be back. I don't think he meant to do that. Maybe might be having technical issues.
He could be having technical problems. It's possible.
But anyway, what I'm getting to is those barrels. I would be surprised if they actually came from McCormick Distilling. McCormick is kind of a rock gut distilling company. I mean, they have distilled. I've got McCormick whiskey over here. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, but they're not known for their very flavorful, very good bourbon whiskeys. They're just not known for that. But J. Regier, and it's Dark Horse, it's Union Distilling now, not Dark Horse. They got a Lifted Spirits, which is a new company. But
I don't know what happened.
Boulevard's been making this whiskey too long to use anything that could have came out of Lifted Spirits. They're too new. So I'm going to guess either those barrels come from Dark Horse or Union, depending on how old you go there on the bottling, or J. Regier. And I would come more to believe in J. Regier maybe than even Union. But, you can't prove it. They don't talk about it. I go to Kansas City. I've drove by both of these places. I've drove by Boulevard and Union Distilling. And I've never went in or nothing, but I know where they're at.
I'm gonna try to do some. I'm gonna try to do some research on that. But I don't know. It was strange. Your hangout, John. It just suddenly froze up. Don't know why. It just went it just stopped, and I said, "Good grief!" So I got out of it and I restarted it. I guess I froze up. Probably couldn't hear a word I was saying. Oh, look, McCormick.
Yeah, that's a McCormick. I've opened it and tried it. To say that it's good is a stretch. I mean, is it palatable? Yes. Is it something that I will ever buy again? Well, we see how far it's went with about 2 drinks since I opened it about 6 months.
But the thing about that, it doesn't even have to be that great. You could age stout in it, and it might still pick up a good whiskey aroma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could. Yeah, but
And I don't even think, you see, this is the tip off. It's like William Kepley says, it's not what you say, it's what you don't say that tells a lot. You notice they're not calling it bourbon barrel stout.
Yeah, but they could.
They're calling it whiskey barrel, which is telling me it's McCormick whiskey. I don't know. I'm like Columbo, you know.
But they make dark. Yeah, you're right. It could be. I'm not saying it's not. I have my. This is a straight bourbon whiskey, so they would use whiskey barrels for damn sure. I mean, bourbon whiskey if they were using barrels.
If that company Boulevard could use the name bourbon, you know, doggone good and well, they would say bourbon, not whiskey, right?
Right.
Jay, who is the company that uses Heaven Hill whiskey barrels? And they do say it. They admit it.
Oh yeah, that's Founders.
It's Founders. So they use Heaven Hill. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it might be also and it might also be Goose Island, I do believe.
Now, Anderson Valley out in California uses Wild Turkey whiskey barrels, and they state that on their label as well.
Okay, that's Campari of Italy. Heaven Hill, Wild Turkey. John, I'm sorry for the foul up, but you wanted me to give a little rundown real fast?
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have the Multi Monday tomorrow night, which is American Adjunct Lagers. I'm just giving Michael a hard time. I'm just joking.
It's okay. It's not my favorite style. I'll admit it.
If it's not your style, it's not your style. You know, I mean, a lot of what I say on the internet is just like jocular humor, but people take it seriously, and I'm like, couldn't you see that it was obviously a joke? You know,
Jay, I'm cool.
I've been knowing Michael on the internet for like about 8 years now.
Yeah, but I think we know where we're coming from. Nobody's trying to bash anybody. We're just being, you know, everything is fast and breezy.
Right. I run across some people that are really paranoid, so it makes me paranoid. You know, when you're paranoid, it makes me paranoid. You know. But anyway, so then after the Multi Monday, and I have my beer already. I can tell you what I've got. And then after that, Wednesday night, Wild Card Wednesday, anything you want to bring. I know what I'm bringing from Florida. Fandango Friday, that's always up in the air. You never know. You never know. But those are usually sort of like different type videos, so to speak. Super Inclusive Saturday can be different as well. But they're fun in a way because there's no theme, and then you don't worry if it's aberrant. I do have a solo review I'm going to do coming up, and I think it's going to be the Cruzan White Rum. Cruzan, they sort of live down to their reputation. You know how you could say a product lives up to its reputation? Well, I think in the case of Cruzan, it lived down to its reputation. So you can take that how it should be taken. Anyway. Dawn Busters, you know, Dawn Busters coming on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Anyway, that's it.
All right, and let's see. I think there's one more announcement. I am gonna bring in Alex, the beer master. I think he wants to tell everybody something. What's going on later today on your channel, Alex?
And the next, whenever we're gonna do it, me and the Johnny boy here are gonna be doing the KBS examination. So.
After all this time, after all this planning.
Is it the new KBS or the old KBS?
Any KBS. It doesn't.
It's any KBS.
KBS.
We're welcome to. Well, Alex can. This is your show. Is Robert?
Yeah, I don't know. Alex won't have me on his show. Alex don't like me.
Well, actually, Robert, if you have a KBS, you could join too, or Rontario. I mean, why not? Examination of whoever has a KBS.
Yeah, I usually don't just have.
That KBS. Was called reverse psychology, Alex.
Yeah.
KBS.
Yeah, anybody that wants to join, I'm sure Alex will welcome them.
Alex,
but when are you going to? Here, the more important question is, when is this going to happen?
Johnny boy, when you want to do it?
I'm gonna leave it up to you, Alex. If we do it right after Stout Sunday, I'm probably gonna have to eat a little something because an 11.8 followed by a 12% without any food will completely wreck my day. so I'll probably maybe put something in my stomach. But if we could do it, we could. I don't know. It's 11:20. We could do it right around noon Eastern, so about within the next half hour, 40 minutes or so. It would be good.
All right. That's fine.
Alex, hold on a minute. You coming on this hangout all suave and everything. You need to turn your head and show us all this haircut. Alex done got shaved, boy.
I think what happened. We were talking the other day. I think what happened was he lit a firework and it whizzed right by him and just took all the hair off the side of the head.
That's the best fire. That's the best firework I ever saw. Somebody needs to get a haircut. Somebody needs to get a haircut.
Not me. That's for
Hey,
sure.
Ron, you turning into a hip.
Hey, man,
No, we leave that for Michael. Michael,
man, why are you leaning on my scene, man?
So, Michael, you have any exciting announcements about the beach club or any upcoming beer things that you're doing?
The saddest thing about the beach club is that, and you've heard this guy mention, the guy who brings all the really good beer, he now has been diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Oh, cool.
And his wife came over yesterday, and she says, Frank
that's a shame.
will not be partaking in any beer tasting for the summer. And admittedly, she was speaking for him, and he is an adult, but I guess her theory is she's the driver, and when he drinks, he can't drive, so he's not going to be transported home if he does a beer tasting. So,
Oh man!
and it's not, we can't disrupt his marriage. I would drive him home, or Audrey would, but we can't disrupt his marriage by getting in between and whatever. So he could taste, he just can't do the full deal, which will compromise things a little bit, because he was always one of the better providers of what we had. But we'll see how it goes. And the beach club is coming slowly because of COVID. The pool is not open yet. There's stuff that's they're having to do. They opened quickly. Found out on Thursday, it opened on Friday. So hopefully things will come together. And it's 35 and a half weeks late, but we'll make the most of it, whatever it is.
Okay.
So the wife is the driver. Something tells me that's not the only marriage in which that sort of paradigm takes
He
place.
drives, but
Yeah, that's right here. My wife does not drink, and she is the driver.
his wife is a teetotaler, and he's, he does drive too, but he's obviously a responsible person, and he's not going to drive after you've seen some of the results of these beach club deals, though, 16 beers and, total devastation. And Audrey usually has to drive, but we usually have to wait because she does partake a small amount. So we have to wait till things settle down before we go. But I think it'll be much more limited this summer from the way it looks.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey,
But
John.
that's life. Life goes on. You you change your formations and you change your style. We definitely will have some. I think they're going to be smaller, though.
Yeah, sorry. John and Illy, we not only do all the people in this group enjoy drinking beer and trying them out, all the people in this group have bad eyes. We wear glasses. Some of us wear contacts, but we all have bad eyes. Am I not correct?
Yeah, no, I have my contact in this morning. Usually I would have my glasses on this early.
Mine are not
You are
prescription.
correct.
They're just, the kinds you get at your corner pharmacy. But I definitely, with close-up stuff, I can't read anymore. I'm honest. I can't.
I didn't need glasses till I turned 47, 48. And then
I still
suddenly-
don't have to have it when I drive, though. So I've been able to do well enough on the test when I take it, when my license is renewed, that I haven't had to have prescription glasses and wear it when I'm driving. It's just very close up. My vision's not very good.
Yeah, you're nearsighted.
I mean, if I was living, thank God we live in this age, because if I was growing up like back when the cavemen were walking the earth, I'd have been eaten by a dinosaur a long time ago.
So what are you're trying to tell us, that your vision is not ideal?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm pretty much blind without my contacts or glasses on. Everything, I'm nearsighted, so if I'm holding it like this close to my face, I'm okay. But anything about this far and out is just a blur. So
I went to church today. Look, I was at church today, and I was looking at the priest and the deacon. And I said, they're wearing glasses like me. Then I looked back around the whole church. I said, everybody in this church got bad eyes.
Wait a minute, Ron. Hey, Ron, when was people able to go into churches now? I didn't know that people can go back into the churches now.
Louisiana has been going on the whole time.
Yeah, well, no, they didn't have masks from the March till about May something. But
you were affected at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh yes, definitely. But they went to 25% attendance. Now they're up to, you can have 50% capacity. But like the priest said, Father David said, we are allowed to have 50% capacity. He said, but the ironic thing is we haven't even reached 25% capacity at any point. He said, so y'all need to tell your friends and family that, yeah, you can come here. You can't really make it on 20% capacity. You got to have people there because light bills have to be paid, phone bill,
True that.
water, you know what I'm saying, salaries, whatever. Anyway, so that was interesting. But I did notice when I looked around the building, everybody was wearing eyeglasses. So I said, it's funny. And masks, but they don't have respiratory problem yet.
right.
I don't have any beer goggles.
I mostly wear my glasses for either reading, like Michael, but I lost my left eye in a fishing accident several years ago. And so I wear my glasses more to I can't lose this eye or you're going to have a different Robert on here reviewing stouts. You're going to have his wife on here opening stuff up and telling you what it is because he won't be able to see.
Wait a minute, Robert.
Everything in my power to keep this eye going.
Wait a minute, Robert. I didn't know you were blind on the other eye.
Yeah, this eye is a fake eye. You want me to take it out and show you, Alex? I can.
Yeah,
No, that's fine. What year did that happen?
He has done that
It
before.
happened in 2014. Remember when the lady in the trial of the lady that lost her kid, that couldn't find her kid, that pretty lady down in Florida, and all that shit was taking place? Every day I go to the eye doctor after it happened, that would always be on the TV. So whatever year that was with the woman that lost her kid, that was the year it happened. I think it's either 2014 or 2015. You would think I'd remember clearly, but I don't prefer to think about it. So
did they find her kid? Did they find her kid, or is that kid?
Yeah, they found her kid, but they can never. They think she killed him, but they couldn't never prove it in a court of law. And of course, everybody was out to get her, so she kind of disappeared after the trial. So,
well, Robert, I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that happened to you.
No, it's all right. I live with it. I still ride my motorcycle. I just have to do on my left side. I just double check my mirrors before I make anything to the left. These are things you got to get used to. If you ever watch when I pour my beers, I'm always kind of get that right near the rim of the glass. I don't never pour like out here because I do have a little bit of depth perception, not complete. And if you ever want to see anything fun and entertaining, when I go to tie on a hook when I go fishing, that's my wife just laughs her ass off because I got to take and hit the eye of the hook. And I got to slide that monofilament gently and then stab it back through the eye. I'm getting better at it. Over the years, I'm getting pretty good at it. But when that first happened, I go to tie my hook. It'd take me 20 minutes to tie hook onto my line.
2014, Robert.
Okay, I was right. 2014. I thought so.
Was it Casey? Anonymous is asking if was it Casey Anthony?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the case
in Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. All
That's
right.
how
Well,
I remember when that happened.
John, you want to go off air?
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, Ron, you got something else before we go off air?
No, I realized that I already said it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks to everybody in the chat for joining. Thanks to my wonderful panel. I really appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a great 4th of July weekend. Stay safe. and enjoy your beers and barbecue on this great Sunday morning, afternoon, wherever you may be. That'll do it, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Cheers, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Bye.